The Albert Project is a Blackpool-based homeless project set up to help and support the homeless within the town. The long-term plan is to get them off the streets and living a better life.
Well, we are the Albert Project. We're a homeless campaign group, and we go around the town. We make sure that people out on the streets are fed, clothed, generally looked after. We sit down, we have a chat with them, try and find out, because some of them have mental health issues that need addressing. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to.
Last year, they come out even in the snow. You know what I mean? And that's not something that not many people would do, you know what I mean?
I work early hours in the morning, I start work early, and I see them all on the promenade in all weathers, and I just, it just got my mind thinking, surely there's something I can do. Saw the work Wayne and the team was doing, and just thought, right, message a page, and decided I wanted to get involved, I wanted to help out and just give a bit back to the community.
And it's nice for them to just talk to somebody as well, because not always everybody's nice. So yeah, sometimes people can be a bit mean to the homeless, so it's just nice for them to have that one-on-one.
Food, wipes, anything you need just to survive on a day-to-day basis. Okay. When these come, it's just a lovely feeling, because you get the odd person that'll spit or kick on you, but I've worked for this system since the age of 16, I'm 57, and I found myself like this.
Just don't judge before you know what I mean? Don't judge her before you speak to her. You know what I mean? Don't be frightened to speak to her.
They're normal people after all.
You know what I mean? We're normal people.
They've got feelings just like everyone else.
We've had a nice boy that's outside, but he got beat up last night. He had his shoes stolen off him. So I rang Wayne at the Albert Project, and he came down and gave him some shoes. This morning when I got here, he'd been beaten up in the night. He had a really bad black eye. He'd been urinated on, and he had no clean clothes. So he was in a bit of a state, and he's had a bit of a meltdown today, but Wayne's on the case. He keeps getting moved on by the police because he's been done under the Vagrancy Act, which is a joke. Or because he was asleep under the old court buildings, and the council, it's not the police, the council, have found him asleep there, got him done under the Vagrancy Act. They fined him £300.
I do believe we are making a difference, because without us they might not be getting a meal tonight. They might need the clothing, and nobody else might have been able to offer them that kind of help. So yeah, I do believe there is a difference that we're making on the streets.
Despite the various stigma attached to homeless people, the facts show that levels of rough sleeping are on the increase across the UK. There are a number of reasons people end up on the streets.
If somebody loses their job, for example, they take so long to be able to get onto benefits, housing benefits, one thing or another, that they're becoming the sort of merry-go-round of getting into debt, and then they can't catch up with it, and then they end up losing the flats or wherever it is, because obviously landlords want the money.
I was guilty of it myself. I'd see them normally, I'd go, they're just druggies, begging and things like that, but it's opened my eyes. They're so appreciative, from when we give them food, when we give them clean clothing, just little things like that. To see the smile on the face, it just makes it worthwhile. Us giving up a couple of hours on the night time, or on a Saturday when they go out, or even just running around collecting donations. It just makes it all worthwhile when you just see the look in their eye. And
a lot of people think that it's drug or alcohol related that they're on the streets, and it isn't always the case. A lot of people go through marriage breakdowns, family breakdowns, and they find that they've got nowhere to go and no one to turn to, and so they come on the streets. And most people turn to alcohol and drugs actually after they've been on the streets and become homeless, because it's like a defence mechanism of learning to live on the streets. So we don't judge.
They'll come round, they'll give us food, hot drinks on a night time. If I need socks, boxers, anything like that, t-shirt, they'll give us all them. Anything like wipes. Basically, they just help all the homeless.
Without the support of the Albert Project, there would be many homeless people cold and going hungry.
I think people are aware, but they don't actually believe there's that many out on the streets. I think it's because the police are actually moving them on. There was one night where we were feeding one of the guys, and the police lady came along and just tried to move him. But I think that's just after we'd finished feeding him, she tried to move him along, and I think that was quite unfair, really. If they're having a meal, they should be allowed to enjoy that meal and maybe move along afterwards. But if they need to be able to offer them a place to stay. I've been told by somebody who's about to start working for the police that they do offer these kind of help, but it's not the case.
Between certain ages, there's not even any help from the council. There's certain people not allowed to sleep in the night shelter at night time. There's a building up there that they used to have for 16 to 19-year-olds called the foyer, and they're doing nothing with it. It's full of, it's probably been emptied now, but it used to have beds in there. There's a kitchen that's like someone could cook in for them. There's showers that they could use, and it's empty. Yeah, and it'll self-fund itself because they'd all get back in, try and get them into rehab if some of them need rehab, maybe get them on an outreach programme, doing some volunteering, give them a bit of something to live for, because some of them just feel so hopeless. It's sad, it makes me sad. I don't know how he does it full time, because today I've cried a lot.
It's the Blackpool community that actually does the job for us. We're just a middleman. We come out and we hand the stuff out that, we ask for donations, and they come in droves and they give us donations, of clothes, sometimes money, food.
The Albert Project treats everyone as equally valuable, regardless of race, faith, sexuality, gender or social standing. Without the support of volunteers and local people, there would be no Albert Project. But it's essential that everyone treats homeless people with kindness and empathy.
Put yourself in their shoes. There's a saying, you're only 2 paychecks away from being homeless. You never know what's around the corner.
It's so easy to judge people. I think as humans it's a natural reaction to judge people, but you don't know what they've done and what they've been through and what they're currently going through, so just show a bit more love.
Give them a chance. They're not actually as bad as what the stigma's made out to be. Greet them, say hello. Yeah, you can buy them a cup of tea. If you sit down and actually speak to them, you'll realise that they're so polite. They are very polite. They're not the stigma that they're portrayed.
Buy them a cup of tea or something to eat, or just talk to them like you would talk to your neighbour or a friend, just to give them that bit of contact with humans, because not everybody treats them right. So,
and always treat other people the same as you treat your mum and dad or something like that, because you don't want to be mistreated, do you?
Well, it could be you on the street one day. Treat them with respect. If they're having a bad time, you could be in that place at some point along the line. You need to look out for them.
I mean, even Wayne here, he brought us a couple of t-shirts here one night, a jacket I've got on, the trainers, he's given us. You know what I mean? So people like that, if we didn't have them, we'd be knackered. You know what I mean? We'd be proper knackered. But
you're right, kid.
You know what I mean? We would. It's true though. You know what I mean? If I haven't got people like this, But now as I can see them, it's thank you to them, you know what I mean? It's a great help. Yeah. Great help.
Honestly, to anybody who wants to get involved, make sure you search the Albert Project on Facebook or get in touch with Wayne SANDO, who made all this possible. It's probably one of the best things I've done. I'm so glad I've got involved. I've made loads of new friends, and it's ridiculously rewarding to get involved. So yes, don't just think about it and say, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll just do it, and it's worth it.
Sometimes they don't want your money. They don't want anything. They just want to be recognised, and they don't want to be invisible. They want someone to just say, hiya, how's your day? Because a lot of people, all they'll see is just feet walking past them all day long, not even noticing they're there. We're trying to raise awareness so that people out there realise that they are human beings. They have got feelings. They're just like you and me. They've just not got a roof over their heads.
If you would like to help by contributing sleeping bags, toiletries and other helpful items, please visit the Albert Project Facebook page, give them a like and get in touch.